Welcome to the Leading Owls podcast, brought to you by Rice University's Doerr Institute for New Leaders. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories and practical tips from successful student leaders, faculty, and staff, along with leadership experts and coaches that will help guide you in your own leadership journey. Today, we are sitting down with lead graduate ambassador for the Doerr Institute, Austin. Austin is from San Diego, California, and is a graduate student in his 5th year with the chemistry department at Rice University. Austin has been incredibly involved with the Doerr Institute during his entire time as a graduate student. He's here to talk to us today about leadership and the journey that you can take as a grad student, and to give tips to other grad students who are just starting their leadership journeys. Please welcome Austin. Welcome, Austin. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So give us the Austin basics of where you're from, what your specialty is, your department.
I'm from San Diego, California, born and raised there. I moved to Houston for grad school. Now I'm a rising 5th year in the chemistry department, getting ready to look for next steps for postdoctoral positions.
Oh, how exciting. So what Doerr programs have you participated in?
Honestly, a better question for me at this point is what I haven't participated in. I've participated in so many. For the Catalyst modules, I've participated, I think, in 9 or 10 of them. I really can't remember the full list of all of them at this point because it's just so many running through my mind. I did the leadership cohort. I did leadership excursions. I did synthesis modules. I did one-on-one coaching. So really, I've gotten the full sample from what Doerr has to offer.
That's so awesome. What was your favorite program? Or a couple of your favorites, if you have many.
Oh, yes. The leadership excursion we did for Southwest Airlines was a fascinating experience. You got to see firsthand how a business is run from a really good leadership standpoint. And then for the on-campus programs, the psychological safety module was really interesting and made me think about leadership in a very different way.
How did Activation, our one-on-one coaching program, impact you?
Activation, the one-on-one coaching program, it was a really good introduction to what leadership can be, how I can start thinking about my path forward, and what places I need to grow. Coming into the program, I thought, yeah, I could get a few tips here and there, but the more and more I got into it and the more I was working with my coaches, the more I started realizing there's a lot more that there is for me to learn than I thought, but also I have the tools and abilities to be able to learn all these skills, and I should take the opportunity to actually do that.
That's so great. You are currently serving as a 2024-2025 lead graduate ambassador. What made you want to join our student program and become an advocate for Doerr?
When I did my first Catalyst module, it was the Special Edition Inclusify module, and that was fantastic. You learned about the science of why it's important to have inclusive leadership, but also how to enact inclusive leadership policies. I really wasn't expecting that. That really motivated me to start doing the student leadership cohort. The cohort really opened my eyes to see what kind of opportunities there are in the program, but I still didn't really know what the lead ambassador or even the ambassador program looked like until near the end of the leadership cohort when Stephanie had asked me to apply because she said that the student leaders from the leadership cohort would make a really good addition to this team. Didn't even know that was an option, and now I love participating in it, and I'm trying to help make the program grow a little bit more, so telling more people that I know about it to apply so that we can get the word out and help other people start being able to advocate for leadership.
I love that. That's so great. Yeah. This is your 2nd year being an ambassador?
This is my 3rd year being an ambassador, but this is my 2nd year being a lead ambassador.
Okay, so that's awesome. Yeah. So what was your favorite part about being an ambassador last year?
For last year's lead ambassador program, I thought what was really interesting was that there really wasn't a precedent for what that lead ambassador role looked like. And so being able to help shape how I'm involved and what that role would look like for future lead ambassadors was really interesting for me.
For students who have never tried any Doerr programs and are interested, what would you recommend starting with?
I'd say start with the pre-survey to help you figure out where might be a good place to start off. If you're having a difficult time choosing which one you want to specifically start with, I really like the pathway of starting with Activation, your one-on-one coaching, and then going into the Catalyst modules. But also another one that I think is really important to think about is the synthesis modules, because that's like your group coaching. You have a coach that's leading a group towards like a common shared goal. And one that's really, really popular, especially amongst the grad students, is the imposter syndrome one. How do you confront and deal with imposter syndrome? I think of all the programs, this one is one that can really benefit people who might not think that leadership is for them, and they can see that leadership is for anyone. It's really a skill that you can build up.
I love that. That's a big topic that we are constantly addressing with our students at Rice is imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Is there a particular Doerr coach who made a big impact on you?
Oh, absolutely. Nick Tubach, a fantastic coach. I love working with him. He's always so supportive of how I can grow and develop in so many different ways. He's offered me advice on things that I really didn't even know how to ask for advice on at first, but also just kind of being there for me and helping me through a lot of the tough times, but also celebrating the wins that I have, especially the wins that I wasn't able to see at the time.
That's so amazing. Yeah. Is there a leader at Rice in particular that has inspired you or that you've loved working with? Like, it could be a staff member, it could be a fellow ambassador.
I think one leader at Rice that has really helped me out is my PI, the professor who's mentoring me in my lab, Dr. Julian West. He has been a phenomenal mentor and really helped me with figuring out how to navigate grad school, how to find my passions and pursue my dreams, which can be a little bit difficult when you're muddling through all the tricky parts of grad school, right? But also, one big reason why he really affected me in a leadership role is that he was the reason why I even started at Doerr. When I first got here, he said, I think this would be a really good opportunity for you. Why don't you try it? If you need extra time out of lab to do this, take all the time you need for it. So
amazing.
Yeah, that's not common to see in a PI like that, but he really wanted us to find what we were passionate about and really push us towards being successful in that.
That's really a great way because you really get a well-rounded look when you are doing Doerr programs. Yes. And it's nice that he promoted you to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason, too, why chemistry is just so heavily represented in Doerr now.
Yes, I'm sure that's the reason why. Yes, we have a lot of chemistry ambassadors. We have a lot of chemistry students taking our programs, and I think that's amazing.
Yes.
Name a cartoon character who you think is a great leader.
Ooh, I'm going to reference my favorite show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Excellent show. And there's a lot of amazing leaders in that cartoon. We could talk about Uncle Iroh, who really taught empathy and compassion. That was really important. You could talk about the main characters in the Team Avatar gang that have their own different leadership qualities and how they approach things. But I think the leader that spoke a lot to how I have changed as a leader was King Boomy, when he was talking about waiting and listening before acting on the next step. Because I feel like there's this pressure to have all the answers right away, being able to think quickly, respond at a moment's notice. But sometimes you need to be able to just sit back and wait, listen to what other people are saying, because other people will have things to say that you might not even have considered. A good leader can act. A great leader can wait and listen and act better.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me about one specific change or revelation that you had through a Doerr program.
I think one really big change for me was that I always thought about leadership from a leadership role perspective and not from a group mentality, implicit leadership role. One of the modules that really changed my idea on that was psychological safety. They were talking about what happened at NASA when there was that big accident and how people didn't feel psychologically safe enough to talk up when they saw what might have been wrong. And, that really changed how I thought about leadership, because now I try to make as psychologically safe of an environment as possible so that if there's something that I'm overlooking, someone feels comfortable to tell me that I'm overlooking this so that we can have the best outcome possible.
That's a great example. It really, really is good. It makes you realize how people need to feel comfortable in order to express the real problems.
Yes. Very, very important.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Austin. We've loved having you, and good luck with your upcoming year, another year of being in the lab and with Doerr.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us for the Leading Owls podcast. We will be back next week with more leadership journeys and tips to share. New episodes release each Wednesday. For more information on the Doerr Institute for New Leaders and our free leader development programs for Rice students, please visit doerr.rice.edu.